host of the Gridiron.
Fourth and goal to go with the 2. 34 seconds left to go in the ball game. This is the play right now. Takes the snap. Targeted goes in. Targeted all alone. And the quarterback keeps. Wow, what a call. Nobody touched him.
Certainly something that the Giants are not going to take a swing at, early on. They don't need to. They just brought Javon Holland in. They just drafted Tyler Nubin, and they just brought in Holland in there. Don't need it. We've done pretty well. We're taking safeties early on, second round. Landon Collins, second round. Xavier McKinney, second round. Right, Tyler Nubin, second round. We've done since 20. That was what? Collins. He was 15, right? 2015. Since 2015, we've taken some safeties in the second round. We've done very well for ourselves, right? So we don't need no safeties early, right? But we could possibly use, right, maybe one of the later on picks, maybe some depth at safety, right? Because let's not forget, Dane Belton, this is his final season. Now, I don't know if the Giants plan on bringing him back. They possibly could bring him back. Yeah, quite possibly. He's had some success being around the ball, right? Get with turnovers. He's had some success. So the Giants could quite possibly bring him back. Certainly wouldn't break the bank if they were to bring him back next season. But this is the last season with the Giants. Okay, the Giants drafted Javarius Owens, but they let him go. And he was with was it the Titans, I believe it was? Yeah, the Giants drafted him. Yeah, it was a later round pick. 6th, 7th round picks. They don't all make it. You know what I mean? So they released him, and I think the Titans picked him up. Okay, but the Giants don't have a ton of players at the safety position. Where are we at here once again? Here we go. Okay, so. All right, safety. So we got Nubin and we got Holland, right? Then you got Anthony Johnson Jr. and you got Dane Belton, and then you got Raheem Lane. Okay, so as of right now, anyway. Now, obviously, the Giants are going to be bringing in more safeties. We got to fill out obviously the 90-man roster, right? So there's a ton of time before we get 90 guys on the team. We still got the draft. There'll be undrafted free agents. Guys that get let go, So we're certainly going to bring in another one or two, if not more, safeties before it's all said and done, right? At least to take a look at. But wouldn't be a bad idea, as I said, for the Giants maybe to draft a safety maybe later on. It's not a top priority because we got our 2 starters, right? That we know. As long as those guys stay healthy, we have 2 very good safeties, right? But we could use to add some depth there. As I said, I don't know what they plan on doing with Belton. Right, I kind of hope maybe they bring him back. If they do, it would be on the cheap. Okay, but as I say, you don't know. You don't know. But I mean, they did draft Javarius Owens, and he's no longer with the team. But let me go back here and show you. And it's certainly not a bad class. There's wrong here. Try to see him. Not a bad class. There we go. For here we go. Let me change this over here for safeties. Right now, now to be fair, I mean, if the Giants were looking for a safety, but if we needed a safety high up, we got a couple of them here, right? Starks here from Georgia, right? Then you got Winston from Penn State, and then Watts, Notre Dame. That's my team, Notre Dame, right? But I don't think the Giants, they're not going to take a safety in the 1st or 2nd round. Or if they do, we're looking at, I couldn't even see 3rd round. I mean, because you're looking, you don't want to take a 3rd rounder safety who's just probably going to be a backup. I can't see that. So maybe 4th, maybe pick 105 on back, the later round picks, if they were going to take it, if they were going to take a safety. But I mean, if you look, I mean, Lathan Ransom from Ohio State at pick number 93, and the Giants at pick number 99. Toughness and tenacity are Ransom's calling cards, which he makes good use of in all facets of the game. While he may lack the tools some other prospects have, he has the instincts and awareness to make up for it. 6'1", 210. R.J. Mickens from Clemson, 6 foot tall, 210. Sanker from Virginia, 6'1", 210. Bowman from Oklahoma, right? But you'll notice here, right? I mean, you see a lot of guys, right? It's like, yeah, pick number 93, pick 108, 117, 121, 125, 142, 157, 169, 200. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so basically from pick 93, or 90, the 93rd ranked player to 200, what did I say? It was 11 or 12 safeties. What is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm sorry, 9. I mean, there's 9 safeties, right? And you got Dean Clark at pick number 210 from Fresno State. So, there are certainly some safeties out there. As I said, once again, the Giants not taking a safety first round, not taking a safety with pick number 34, they're not taking a safety with pick number 65. That's not happening, right? Because they don't need a starter. You take a safety. You take one of those first few picks like that. You're looking for somebody who give you major contributions, and certainly you would like them to be a starter. Giants don't need a starting safety; they need depth at safety. He said, so right now they only got 5 guys on the roster at safety. Right? I said Belton's one of them. I don't know if they plan on bringing him back or not. Right? That'd be cool if they did, but they could certainly use some more depth at safety. That is for sure. But they got their 2 starters. I said, so one of their picks after I would think it would probably be after the 105, pick 105, really one of their later picks if they want to take some secondary depth, right? Because let's not forget, we brought in Holland, we brought in Adebo, right? Let's not forget, I mean, especially if we're going to get Hunter. I mean, he could play cornerback too. Right, but I mean, we got Banks, we got Flott, we got Phillips, we got Adebo, a cornerback. We brought in, we got Newman. We just drafted Newman last year, and we got Holland. So we got our starters, right? We need depth, right? And I said, taking a depth safety at pick number 99, I can't see that. Or pick 105, I can't see that. The Giants could put those picks to better use, I think. But as I said, there are a lot of safeties here for the Giants to if they fall in love with one of them, right? Ransaw from Tulane, Malachi Moore from Alabama, Woodson from California, Hancock from Ohio State, right? Castro from Iowa. He's only 5'11" now. Bowman, 5'10". The safeties aren't very big here. I said Sanker from Virginia, Mickens, Ransom. So there are. And you never know. One of these guys might fall to the 5th round or so. That may not be a bad idea. One thing is, I said with the Giants, right, is that they certainly need. Difference makers, playmakers, and all that. But I said the first 5 picks, what do we got? 3, 34, 65, 99, and 105. Those first 5 picks, guys that are either going to start or be good contributors. Those first 5 picks, right? Said the later on picks, we said the Giants could certainly use another wide receiver, right? We're going to hopefully maybe get that quarterback. There's a thing I saw the Giants brought in. I can't remember. I'm an idiot. They brought in a bunch of running backs, right? Because, you look at it, hey, man, I like Tracy, Motor Singletary, but Eric Gray, does that, I think Tracy's a very good running back. good hands, good running back. You give him a hole, the guy can take it. He took a couple long runs last year, right? But overall, does this running back crew that we got scare you? I mean, I'd love to see what Turbo Miller can do. We can get him out there, but Giants could use another running back. They brought in a bunch of them for 30 visits and all and everything. You could use another wide receiver, right? I could maybe use a tight end, right? We got Dulcich, Theo Johnson, Manhurts, right? Bellinger. We could use another tight end, possibly. I said, certainly need another wide receiver. We brought in a bunch of running backs. We need a quarterback. We can use some depth on the offensive line, depth on the defensive line. So we need a lot of things before we need a backup safety. So the Giants, I mean, there are safeties out there. Okay, it's a lot better than the guard class and the center class. So there are some safeties out there. But I said, if the Giants are going to take a safety, especially a depth safety, right? Look for it to be later on, like one of the late picks, because I said safeties is just going to be depth. That's all it's going to be.